Hey there, guys. Welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. This is the second season, episode number of the occupational upgrade. Thankfully, I'd say that was a fairly successful intro, especially for me. Thankfully, you guys may not have noticed that I said of Oxygen Not Included again, because it was the occupational upgrade. So I said both of them kind of at the same time. Which is wrong. However, if you don't notice, great. Okay, so what do we have in here? Polluted oxygen? Huh, okay. Well, what about if we give ourselves... No, not refinement, silly sheepdog. I think it's deodorizer. If we chuck a deodorizer in here as well... tile that. So basically, before we go off and be silly people with all this slime and crap like that, I want to set this all up so I don't mess up in here. I want this sink to get rid of the germs, and then I want these to be holding the slime for now. This is getting higher. Gonna take me higher, higher, higher. There we go. Okay. I kind of like having the toilet here, actually, because it means I can go in here and do stuff, and I know when they come back out, they're gonna be using the sink. Should I have this as left only, so that we don't waste water? I'd say that kind of makes sense in a way, right? Because people coming into here aren't going to be germed up. Yeah, okay, let's set the direction left. There we go. Okay, we're still alright on water there. Is there anything we should research? We probably will want the rock granulator soon. It does also give us sand. Produces medicine. We don't really have anything we can do with that right now. Gas filter, liquid filter, carbon skimmer. Electrolyzer, carbon skimmer may be needed soon. I haven't put airflow tiles in, have I? Let's research this. We probably don't want to be researching at the moment anyway. You know what? That's a beautiful point, sheepdog. Oh lord, I am literally just a giant idiot apparently. Pardon me. Because, yeah, no, there are other things we want / need to do. So, of course, we don't want to do that right now. That's a piece of slime there, okay. So, we're gonna have to be careful here. So, I'm gonna let it run for a little bit, and we'll talk. I was talking about, in the last episode, I was talking about, what's it called? Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I didn't really... the reason we went so long on that video... well, the reason we went longer than the traditional maximum 30 minutes... is because we were doing the... we were chatting about the... There we go, that's... No, but you need to keep going. Otherwise we're going to get a whole load of polluted... Like, it's not too bad getting polluted oxygen in here, but... there we go. Yeah, the reason we went longer than the traditional kind of 30 minutes is because I was enjoying talking about it. But, yeah, no, there's, there's a lot of good in the second one. And I'd say especially Rocket, Raccoon, Drax to a certain extent. Because there were some really powerful scenes with Drax. You know, like, it's amazing how someone... Same with The Rock. You know, The Rock's not the best actor, but he's a good actor. You know, even in like a not very good film, like, it's not Get Shorty, because Get Shorty's the first film of that series. It's the second... It's Be Cool. That's right, Be Cool. It's not a very good film. John Travolta film... It's not very good, but, you know, it's alright. And yeah, Be Cool, I thought The Rock was really good in that. I don't know why. It just, you know, he was a good presence, and he was a good actor. Everything about his performance there was good, in my opinion. So, yeah, you know, there you go. The Rock, well done, mate. Yeah, these do take a little while to grow, don't they? But yeah, no, the Rock did really good in that, and I was very appreciative of him. And I think it's the same for... Is it? It's not... You know what? Let's look this up, because I don't want to get it wrong. Because I was going to say John Cena. I know it's not John Cena. It's... Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Dave Bautista. Yeah, Dave Bautista. So, he is a pretty good actor. Because, like, maybe it's the direction. You know, maybe that helps out a lot. You never know 100%, because a good director and good writing can bring good out of even a bad actor. And a bad actor can help save. Well, won't actually save it, but a good actor can help save a bad film. Or, like, bad writing. And bad direction. And I really enjoyed Drax. And I thought, like, you know, the fact that he's always laughing and you know, he's kind of the comedic relief to a certain extent in a lot of his scenes made it all the more effective when she, like, touched him and he was massively, you know, he was massively sad. You know, when he was remembering his daughter and his wife. And I was like, that was really good. That was really effective. And he did it very well. There are notes where, you know, he'd tell a joke. It's like, and it was a bit too over-pronounced. And it felt like the director or the studio or the writers kind of forcing a character onto him that didn't quite fit, because it's a Marvel film and there has to be comedy and there has to be jokes, you know, almost all the time. You know, another really good example of a forced joke, I think, is at the very end when Michael, spoilers obviously. Why am I doing a movie review? Fuck it, we're doing a movie review today. The only one of a great example of, like, a forced joke, a forced Marvel joke, let's say, is when they do Michael Rooker's character, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, although yeah, Xandu, something like that, yeah. You know, the blue pirate dude. He has the flying needle, which, incidentally, one of my favorite action scenes. It's not exactly even an action scene, but one of my favorite action scenes of, like, ever is him and Rocket Raccoon running around the ship, like, killing everyone. The music was great. And if you can't love me now. Yeah. Wait, no, that was a different scene, possibly. I think that might be when he's fighting his dad. When someone else is, you know, the main character, Star-Lord, is fighting his dad. Anyway, I really liked it. And there were instances, and the instance I'm talking about is when he is going to sacrifice himself to save Star-Lord right at the end of the film. Groot says, "I am Groot," and then Rocket Raccoon he says, like, what's he saying? And then Rocket Raccoon says, he's saying, "Welcome to the frickin' Guardians of the Galaxy," only he didn't say frickin'. And then they're flying away, and they have, like, a slightly emotional, like, look, and then they fly away. And as they fly away, he says, "You know, we really are going to have to talk about your language." Now, it's not a terrible joke. It's not needed. This is the problem. It would be a much better scene if there was no joke. If they hadn't have gone, "We're really going to have to talk about your language," right? So cut that bit out, and the scene goes to, "I am Groot. What did he say?" He said, "Welcome to the Guardians of the frickin' Galaxy," even though, except he didn't use frickin'. Not terrible. Now, if you draw it back even more, And you have the scene be, I am Groot. Sorry, the Groot character says, "I am Groot," and he says, "What did he say?" And he goes, "Welcome to the Guardians of the Galaxy." There, and then they share a quick moment, and then they fly off. You know, like this is the problem that Marvel's gonna run into, I think, is that they can't take their serious moments serious enough because they're Marvel and they're known for light-hearted comedy as well as their superhero stuff, which I do really feel is going to slowly become a problem for them. We're going to disable that building now. It's you know, it's still good. You know, that scene's still great. But it could be even better, is my point, really. Because it's just like, you know, even without the explanation of Welcome to the Guardians of the Galaxy, if Groot had just gone, "I am Groot," and then Michael Rooker had looked at him and kind of been like, and then they just left, you know, like, keep it very minimal conversation. You know, all of those characters, they tend to be fairly quiet, and, you know, I think that could work just as well. So yeah, you know, it's not terrible. It's not an awful moment or anything, but it is implicit of the style that Marvel kind of goes for, and it's not amazing in that regards. So I think they do quite often do a joke too many, or a joke too not a joke too far, but a joke too much, you know. But yeah, no, like, there are a few issues like that in food shortage. Yeah, I mean, it'll be probably fine. Does this have the bonus at least from? Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. So yeah, it like, there's, in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, there are obviously problems. You know, it's not as entertaining. It's not as good because they're establishing the characters. It's an origin story for multiple characters. You know, they have to establish the characters. They have to let people get used to the characters, get to know the characters. So there's obviously going to be a bit of a disconnect for the audience there, a little bit, you know. Just going to get a little bit more copper, if we can. How much? We don't have any. Ooh, we don't have any coal, it looks like. Alright, so what we're going to do... Okay, we're going to do this. So yeah, back on the Guardians of the Galaxy. So, you know, it's one of those things where you feel minutely bit silly, right? Because you're... is that obsidian with slime lung? It is. Okay. Is there any way to, like... we'll figure that out. So, in here... Nope. Okay. Clay, algae, rock pile. Okay, so rock pile, slime, polluted dirt we'll put in here. Is there anything else we need to put in here? Awesome, agriculture, filtration medium, sand, consumable ore. Gold amalgam wouldn't be a terrible place. Oh no, that's not, yeah. Industrial ingredient? Reed fiber. We will just chuck that in there. Okay, so sweep all of this. Damn it. Sweep all of... Okay, we need to do that. Sweep all of this, and we're going to prioritize it to the max. What? No. Prioritize. What? Okay. Why can't we prioritize the sweeping? So how are we doing on germs? Oh, crap. Was that obsidian? We should be able to get rid of the slime lung fairly quickly, I hope. It's the obsidian slime lung in there, isn't it? You've got, slime. Yeah, okay, slime is supposed to go in there. Okay, we'll copy, we'll paste, and then, should we, yeah, we should probably. Alright, so let's, or scrubber. Refinement? No. Medicine? No. No. Station. Utilities or scrubber? There we go. Okay, I see. I see. It's a little unfortunate for now, isn't it? I don't think there's much we can do about that. We have gotten rid of the germs for the most part, except for there. New duplicates are available, okay. Now, why isn't this slime being moved? Is it because it's doing other than body temperature? Oh, it's just getting a little bit too warm in there, isn't it? Why is it getting so warm in there? Oh, it's because of the bloody... Oh, okay. We needed to fix that anyway, right? So... Could do it here. Yeah, okay. Tile... No, not... well... yeah, no, it should be fine if we tile, tile, like that, pneumatic door, and then we go into, oh, no, tile, tile, it's not going to be really enough. We'll do hydroponic, wait, do the, well, we'll, do that, and then, tile, and then dig. There we go. Okay, good. So yeah, talking about the other characters, I like how they didn't force a romance down our necks with Gamora and Star-Lord. This is Guardians of the Galaxy 2 again. I feel that's very, very good that they didn't do that, or like it kind of felt like it should be a thing, right? So I was okay with it kind of being a thing, but at the same time, I'm glad that they didn't force it in there, where they were like, this is so definitely a thing, like, you know, they're definitely, yeah, there's just like a vague kind of like, yeah, they got a thing for each other, but you know, they're not forcing it, which was nice. I'm just gonna prioritize these because I prefer if they got built first, so we didn't knock down all of this crap here. What we kind of need here is thermal, isn't it? Is it possible to build that? It'd be there, but gives us the airflow tile stuff as well. Yeah, okay, let's do it. We've got less to do right now, anyway. Shit. Forgot about that. So what would... Do we need to... Seeds? Copy. Paste. 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 That should be fine. Okay, so what we want to do here, I think for now, and I hope this works, because it did say ore. Put the ore scrubber here. Have it be 9 priority. So yeah, like, the other characters, Groot, is actually the only character that's more interesting and better in the first one. Because he's just a mascot in this, right? I mean, in the last one, he's just a gimmick. But he always made sense. In this one, there are instances where, like, he gets his ass kicked by the pirates. Kind of implying that he's not the giant badass that he was in the first one. And kind of indestructible and awesome and amazing. But in the second one, he gets his ass kicked by the pirates in a way. And then, you know, we're supposed to be like, oh, poor Groot. And then he kicks ass later. Just, you know, like, just one dude. I guess it basically makes sense, but it's just a little bizarre in my eyes. So there's that as well. There we go. We need some more coal, I think. Okay, so you set direction right, because we can actually go through this way as well. Like, we can cut a little bit in here, and yeah. So let's have a look at these. Yeah, so it's just that one. There needs to be a gas intake? How the hell does that work? That doesn't... What? What does it do? Why does it need gas intake? What does it bloody do? I'm so confused. Alright. Does it explain how it kills significant amount of germs present on raw ore? It needs a supply of chlorine. Oh. Well. Never mind then. I guess for now we won't put one in there. So we're going to need like a chlorine room, I guess, which is going to be interesting. So we'll dig this though, definitely. And prioritize will go up for this. There we go. Thank you. So yeah, Groot. Yeah, so that's Groot. He's honestly not that he's not really intriguing enough to go into in much detail. He's cute, and there are some funny bits with him. And that's pretty much it. With the other characters, I mean, I've gone through all of the main characters. You know, Gamora and Star-Lord, they're good. They're comedic, they're awesome. There's not too much, you know, they the same as the others. They do pretty well. Sporting kind of characters and everything, all pretty damn good. I was surprised that Kurt Russell could pull off a comic book film character, but he seemed to embrace it, and that went well. I think it's a little bit the feeling of, like, you know, there's been action stars who tried to do comic book characters before, and they haven't gone well. Not to name any names, and I'm sorry, because I usually love Arnie, but I think we all know that the Mr. Freeze is not good. You know, just in general, Mr. Freeze are not the best. So yeah. Sorry about that. And yeah, it's all round, like, the visuals of it, and as I said before, like, the visuals are so much better, and yeah, it's really, really very good. But the first one, just, you know, it had to be a bit safer, it had to be a bit less adventurous, and it doesn't really work out in its favor in the sense of, you know, of making good film, but it's still a really solid film. And I really enjoyed it. But yeah, the main thing I I actually went into talking about the film a lot more than I intended, because I was just going to basically say, oh, it's Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I enjoyed it. You know, again, like, it's lasted decently for me. You know, going back to it was not a problem. But as I was talking about it, I realised that I wanted to talk about some of the intricacies of it a little bit, you know? And I do get this feeling that, you know, Marvel, I think, will always be the comic book film company. Just purely because DC just can't get it right. Because what people have been wanting for a while after the Dark Knight fatigue kind of set in, you know, like the Dark Knight is and was and is still awesome, right? That's cool. Like we don't need to debate that. But the next film, Dark Knight Rises, I think, with Bane and all that, was, in my opinion, pretty crappy. It felt like they did it because they felt that they had to, and it was all right, but it didn't strike a chord with me at all, you know. And there were multiple instances where I was just like, this doesn't particularly appeal to me. So yeah, that kind of happened. What we're gonna have to do, of course, is we're gonna have to run. Ooh, okay, can we liquid bridge? We're gonna have to. That's the output pipe, so we'll have to do that, and then run these along here. There we go. Yeah, as I said, just didn't appeal to me. And I think after we had, what was it? There was something that took. It was Man of Steel. Man of Steel was a terrible film. In many regards. Not just because it's DC. I'm not a massive fan of Superman, and there were some interesting aspects to it, but it was just a bad film. You know, they didn't think about what people wanted. They just made a film. They made, you know, like, if you're not cynical, you can say that they just made a mistake. They didn't give people what they wanted from a Superman film. If you're a cynical person like me, what you're probably going to say is they gave people a Batman film but with Superman because they thought is the laziest way you can go. Basically, you know, is like, let's do what we've already done, what we already knows works, what we already know will make money, which is making a Superman film except for Batman. You know, the dark Christopher Nolan Batman. Which, you know, Batman is fairly realistic to a certain extent, especially the way the Batman Begins and all of that went. Like, it wasn't fantastical. It was a little bit grounded in reality. And oh god, I'm going over time. I'm going to go over time again if I keep. I'm just freaking talking about these films. I do enjoy films. The Superman films are by definition fantastical because we're talking about an alien who has superpowers. Batman is and can be just a dude. Batman's enemies is and can be just dudes. You know, I like men and women, obviously. Shut up. But yeah, it's silly to try and make Superman Batman. If Batman is successful first, then you can't follow the same formula you did for Batman, because it just doesn't work. Because, you know, you've got flying people for a start. You've got an alien planet already. You know, you want to go more the way of the Star Trek films, maybe. And there was a certain aspect of the Star Trek films I felt there as well, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. And yeah, it just felt kind of, you know, as I said, I'm a cynical person. It felt kind of lazy. It felt like they were like, You know, the Batman films already did well. Let's make Superman like that. And this is the problem: is DC are never trailblazers, and they haven't been since Batman Begins. You know, even The Dark Knight, it wasn't a trailblazing film. It was a great film, but it was still them doing what was already successful. What is happening with my power? We are out of coal. I didn't. I need to pump these up to 6. Huh. Are we out of coal? No. Very almost. So we should probably come down here and... Okay, the coal doesn't have slime on it. Cool. It's going to affect us for a little while, isn't it? Can we get some of this, please, guys? Let's, up the priority here. We'll also end the video. So, yeah, basically, what I wanted to say about the films is, DC aren't trailblazers. And they've been basically reacting to what's been popular, whereas Marvel, more than DC, has been doing its own thing and just being like, let's do this because let's see how it works, kind of thing. So that's you know, that's why DC is never going to kind of top Marvel for now, is because they're not going to take risks, because they're worried that everything they do is going wrong, and it is, because they keep trying to copy Marvel, like with the Suicide Squad, and, you know, they try and copy other things as well. So anyway, there's my movie talk, like a couple of episodes of movie talk, I guess. I don't know why, that just kind of happened. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, I always appreciate it. And of course, it really helps me out, and I'll see you on the next one.